Stop holding back, my friend, because a major upgrade just happened for you. Maybe you haven't noticed it, but it doesn't mean it haven't happened. You're about to experience an unexpected miracle, and I want to remind you that from now on, everything is working in your favor. You deserve all these blessings, my friend. I want to remind you to go from reactor to creator. I have a message from alignment for you. 222, coming from the number 222, the synchronicity you often see that comes to you quite mysteriously, and you're like, what does it mean? I'm constantly seeing 222. I look on my watch and there's 222. I go outside and I see 222 on car plates. Or I walk past a stranger that has 222 on his or her shirt. Well, it's a symbol of alignment. It is reminding you that your energy is becoming more synchronized with your life's purpose, with your life's mission. But also your heart-brain coherence is taking place more frequently, which is creating an effect on the field around you. In physics, there is a phenomenon called constructive interference. When two waves of equal length meet, the amplitude of the resulting wave increases. This means that when someone aligns with you, conversations will charge you. When you do what aligns with you, it will increase your energy. And when you match your feelings with your desires, your vibration frequency will expand. So how many times you experience that you're actually doing something that recharges you, that raises you up, or you get into a conversation where you lose a sense of time and suddenly you feel more recharged. It's a sign that you're in alignment. So imagine what would happen if you would learn to live in alignment every single day, all day long. Well, you would end your day more recharged than tired. You would end your day more creative than just, responding and reacting to life. You would embody a manifestation of the creator, and you would tap into what some people call God's consciousness, because your energy centers would align, because you would be walking in alignment. So there are actually 4 steps that can help us to be more in alignment, and it will allow us to experience the energy of alignment, where we start allowing things to happen rather than controlling how something should happen. It means to have a vision of the future, but allow it to happen instead of controlling events out of fear. Controlling always come out of fear, because we don't know how to do things differently, so we do them out of our familiar emotional state. When something happens to you, and you react out of your familiar emotional state. Well, allowing means that you let people be who and how they are. When they don't meet your expectation, let them be. Despite how open and loving you attempt to be, people can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves, is a famous saying. And it reminds us, well, doesn't matter how much you want to help someone, they will only understand you to the degree they understand themselves. Some people are more open-minded and open-hearted, and they will ask you, oh, why do you think like that? Oh, it's an interesting perspective. Can you teach me more of that? But most people will just laugh at you, or will, pull you back, or will say to you, hey, this is nonsense, whatever. Don't try to change them. Your job is only to live your life and be an example. And when someone comes to you, well, it's a good thing, right? But most people are also your teachers, because they're actually teaching you how to be more authentic and how to stand for your truth, which doesn't mean try to change them, but just be honest, be open, and don't try to teach them anything if they're not open for that. So let people be who and how they are. It will pull you back in alignment. Sometimes you may still emotionally react like they didn't listen to me. I want the best for them, but they don't listen. But at the same time, you shouldn't care, because each individual lives their own story. And sometimes the best outlook for things is understanding. Try to understand them, and through understanding can awaken a consciousness of support, where you stop trying to change someone or to fix someone, and you just give them support, give them a hug, give them whatever they need, and you let them be, let them experience life. This is a very important lesson that taught me, because when we get very enthusiastic about certain subjects and we start learning and they change our lives a lot, we want to push them to everyone we know, right? We just want to give them that because it changed our lives. And then we notice, well, not all of people are actually open for what helped us. Most people actually don't care, right? Most people live in their own boxes, in their own stories. And I've noticed every time I wanted the best for someone and I try to give them what helped me, I've noticed they just want to live in their known prison. They just want to live in their known perspective. And I've learned, well, the best thing to do is to try to understand them, support them, but living my own life, right? The second reminder that will help you to be in alignment is to let things be how they are. Because in this present moment, you can't change anything. No matter how hard you try to control things, you can't change what is happening right now, but make sure that you change your attitude about your future. Because the thing is, look, most of our day, neuroscience say, 95% of our day we're living unconsciously. We're living in certain programs. How we think, what we believe to be true, how we are responding, reacting, it's all based in our programs. 95%. So when we're thinking about the future, most of the time, we are looking into the future through the lens of the past. So whatever happened in the past, whatever we believe to be true, we form an image of the future, like this is what happened to me, so my future will most probably be similar. But to someone who lives more in the present moment, looks into the future as it has a potential of an adventure. The future has a potential of change. The future has a potential of manifesting your dreams. And if you don't get stuck in what you know, you may experience something unknown, new, something new that may excite you, something new that may bring you unexpected miracles. If you allow yourself to actually open up and remind yourself that you don't know everything and that life is also quite mysterious. And if you allow yourself to break certain patterns and do things differently when you can, like maybe finding more free time so you can actually do more of what you love, and setting some boundaries somewhere so you can maybe chill more or rest more or do other things you would love to do, you will notice that one change leads to another, and suddenly after a few days you've done many great changes. And after some time, you may actually experience some changes as the byproduct of the change you've created. So you recognize you are responsible for not all events, but for most of events that happen after this moment. So let things be how they are, but make sure that you create for yourself an attitude about your future that will be supportive, that will be more filled with inspiration than worry. Inspiration is a powerful energy, fused with spirit, being inspired. So it means we need to have something, or we need to have clarity around something we love, right? Like clarity what qualities we would love to embody, clarity around what hobbies we would like to do more frequently, clarity around what kind of relationships we would like to have in our lives, clarity around the health we would love to experience, clarity around emotional attitude we would love to embody, clarity around the spiritual health we would love to experience. So then we stop trying to fix what's present right now. We focus on the steps we can take to change our future. Because future is just a concept in the mind, but it alters our response to life. It alters our actions and choices in life. And that's what creates a new present moment experience, isn't it? Because all you have is this moment. But this moment was actually created by your choices yesterday and the years before. So you can recognize that whatever you feel that is not changing right now, well, if you're keeping up with something new, well, eventually it will appear and one day it will surprise you. It's a law of this universe. Change leads to new changes. Persistent changes lead to new life, right? But many people feel held back emotionally. Like people say, I understand all of that, but I still emotionally react to certain people the same way and I don't want to do that. Well, it means you have a lot of suppressed emotions you were not aware of before. Like most people are not even aware of how they feel. When you become more aware of how you feel, you recognize how uncomfortable it is because you have so many suppressed emotions. So you rather distract yourself from that because you would like to feel better. But the thing is that the only way to really release emotions from your nervous system, because they are stored in your nervous system, you need to let emotions to be felt, not suppressing them or trying to change them, but allowing them to tell you what is wrong in your life, what you don't like about your life. Not seeing it as a problem, but seeing it as a product of what you've been doing and what happened to you, what you've been through. And noticing in each discomfortable sensation lies a superpower. But you've been distracting yourself from it because you thought it's your weakness. The most interesting part about our life is that most of the time our weaknesses become our superpower, because we've been programmed to believe that what is uncomfortable is our weakness, that we should be strong, that we should be like this and like that. But actually, you see certain parts of you as your weaknesses because you've never discovered why they make you special and unique. Why they make you unique. Because for someone who's very emotionally sensitive, they may feel like they're weak because as soon as something happens, they become emotional. But if they would evolve spiritually a little bit, they would notice they are quite psychic because they can easily read the energy in their environment. They're very good artists because they can sense more deeply everything. They would make incredible music because they have an ability to sense other people. So they would easily create songs and art and other healing things that would actually inspire others because they feel what other people need. And of course, it doesn't mean that you need to do something spiritual, but it means that you discover what you think that is your weakness as your superpower. But it can only happen when you go through the process of feeling yourself and allowing emotions to be felt, not suppressed or changed. Your body will tell you your needs and your own misunderstanding if you allow yourself to listen to yourself. They say feeling is healing. And you just need to understand that your body has its own intelligence. And you need to start listening to it. Like every single day when you wake up, have some time for introspection. How am I feeling today? How I want to feel today? Like how I want to experience this day. And when you finish your day, ask yourself again, how am I feeling today? Where I've started suppressing myself, where I've lost a sense of boundaries, where I was doing what I love and could I do more of that, where I was doing what I hate and could I do less of that. It doesn't mean that you're over emotional, like I will not do that because it doesn't feel comfortable, or I will not talk with that person because I sense fear. It doesn't mean to be over emotional, it means to have a sense of emotional intelligence, to notice as much as you have your psyche for thinking, you also have the other part of your psyche for feeling. And feeling is the part of us that we are evolving in right now, because in the past everything was more, masculine, like just thinking and structuring and organizing and working hard, which is all fine. I love that part because that's how we build incredible things. But then the other part is to feel, to express emotions, to talk about emotions. That's where we create incredible art. That's where we experience incredible healing. That's where we deepen connections. That's where we stop judging and start understanding, which is a huge progress. Many times when you need that, or when you start doing that, you start seeing 222, a sign of alignment, a synchronicity that reminds you your energy is aligning and therefore increasing, and therefore your power for manifestation is increasing as well. If you start visualizing a little bit more, feeling as it's already real, well, you're altering your future. But then it reminds us of letting your future to unfold, not controlling. Again, we often fall into a fear where we want to control how things will happen. Like, I will manipulate everything I can right now so that future can unfold. We let our future to unfold. We stop controlling the outcome, but rather we feed the seeds of the wanting fruits with intentional effort and energy. You make a plan and feel as your wish is being fulfilled. You take a moment in a day and just feel as it's already real, just to remind yourself where you're going. And then time is a mystery. More important you create your future, longer will be the time of its manifestation, because when you put something on the pedestal, it always kinda moves away from you. When you make something less important, but you actually create a sense of knowing that it will happen when the time is right, it means you're not waiting it anymore. You just know it's your destiny, and that is a magic pill for any manifestation. I've noticed every time I really wanted something, it actually happened later in my life when I've forgotten that I ever wanted it. So I've learned the greatest secret of manifestation, which is know what you want, but don't wait for it. Don't make it important. Almost don't care about it. Just know it will happen if you do things right, if you follow your heart, if you make intentional action, if you evolve into the direction where you can have it. Like, if you want to have, a successful business, it will not happen out of nowhere. It will not just come to you. You also need to follow your ideas and make products or create something out of them and organize your time a little bit and, put things into work, of course. But then the outcome will unfold when you will stop waiting it, when you will decrease its importance and you will turn it into knowing. Knowing it will happen. Knowing is one of the strongest frequencies when it comes to manifestation, because it's not in belief system. Beliefs are like, yeah, I believe, but I don't see it. or I believe one day it will happen. Knowing is, there's no space for doubt or worry anymore. You just know. And usually knowing happens when you have some measurable results from the past. Like when you already, if you can see right now that something like that already happened in the past, you can easily know that it can repeat in the future. So that's why it's so important to reflect a little bit on certain manifestations that already happened somewhere where your thoughts actually affected your reality. Or you can start trying out with simple things like in the morning visualizing how you're having a very pleasant conversation with a stranger and feeling like you're already being there, feeling the laughter, feeling the healing that's happening. And then just open up and notice that one time in a day you may actually meet a stranger with whom you can have this deep conversation. Trying out these simple ways where you are actually experimenting with reality. So reality can give you proofs that you can measure how much time it took for you from, going from visualization to actual experience. And in between, you often start seeing like you're making changes in your energy field. This is a very, very beautiful thing where you actually remind yourself that you're not here to be just a reactor, you're here to be a creator. And that's where you level up your consciousness, because you recognize, life is quite mysterious. And as soon as you learn to work with this reality, not to be just a player here, not to be just a victim here, but to be a co-creator of it, you recognize that even this process of creation then leads you into a higher purpose. Can I create more effects on the world globally? Can I add something to healing of this planet? Can I decrease the stress and chaos in this world? Because science tells us that it's possible, especially when we collectively set a healing intention for a certain specific area on the world. When people did that, the level of chaos and conflict decreased. But as soon as people stop doing that, chaos rise back up and conflict rise back up. And then scientists have noticed it's not just about having an intention, it's about embodying that intention and creating a new lifestyle out of it, so it becomes your new nature. So your future needs to become your new nature. You embody the version of yourself in the future right in this moment, and then events just follow. Like when you set your mind to something great, everything else will follow. If you really focus on something great, everything else will follow. But those are tiny little changes we're making every single day, because still these programs of the past are very strong and they often get activated when something we don't like to see happen. So it requires us to have a lot of attention at these moments and knowing what would be the best replacement for these certain reactions, having clarity for the, how could we replace the reaction we don't like when something scary happened? How could we cope with these events more, maybe positively, more intentionally, more gratefully, more open-mindedly? Having clarity so we can rewire our brain to respond differently. It all leads to alignment until one day we wake up and we recognize, all day long I was just in alignment. A conflict happened and I was so peaceful. It almost felt like I would be almost just objective there, having clear mind, and I responded very compassionately. Like I've left old me behind and I just became a new me. This is all alignment. And every time you do this work, it doesn't matter how big or small, you're walking towards alignment, deeper alignment, where most of your actions are motivated from your inner heart, from your inner inspiration instead of mental, programs and beliefs from society. That is a powerful shift. So my friend, I hope you found something valuable today. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Thanks to everyone for supporting my art in our store, AttractPassion.com, an Etsy store, I Draw My Passion, whatever platform you prefer the most. Thank you so much. And thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content. You're all truly appreciated. The links are in the description of this video. To anyone who would love to work with me one-on-one, you can book a session on the link in the description. If you would like to discuss anything we're talking here and propel your journey forward. See you there, my friend. I'm excited to meet you, and till next time, one love.